Hi guys, welcome to episode 28. I thought for this one, it's just gonna be you and me. Hope you've had an okay month because has this been the worst COVID month that India has ever seen? Definitely. Is everyone angry, sad, depressed? 100%. Am I in a good mood? No, but I realize I'm so good at faking it. Oh man, it's the years of social media training that I'm really good at looking fine. For some reason, I'm in a very good mood today because I got vaccinated today. Yes. I got vaccinated at 3 o'clock. It's 5:30 now. That's how excited I am. I don't know what the side effects are going to be. I'm actually excited about the side effects. I got Covishield, so I'm hoping for a fever. That means my body's preparing the antibodies. So I'm very excited. I'm very happy. So I thought I'd record an episode today when I just got the vaccination. Also, I decided I've been yearning to do a solo Simple Ken because the last two was with Rahul, which I got so much love for. And the previous one with Prashasti Kanan and Shrija got max love. It was so much fun. It came out exactly as I wanted it to. And then I was like, man, I want to talk to my Simple Ken peeps one-on-one, man. And I was like, this one's going to be 28. It's going to be just you and me. And usually when I get questions for an episode, I'm just like, oh, okay. Not too specific, not too detailed. But this episode's questions have been so mega epic that I couldn't wait to record this. I was just like, I have more than enough amazing questions. So thank you for awesome questions. I also want to bring up something. Simple Ken community has become very big, which is great. But I'm also getting afraid, I was watching PewDiePie a lot. PewDiePie is Felix. He's one of the most subscribed to personal individual YouTubers. And he's getting excited about creating a community from scratch. I'm not saying that I'm as big as PewDiePie, but I'm just like, I could totally relate with the sense of comfort I'm getting from this small niche group of you guys. But I'm also very happy when a lot of people listen to the episode. And so I'm just so conflicted because I started seeing that happening with the last episode, with 4 guests. So with four people, obviously a lot more people saw it than usual. And then immediately people are not getting a lot of the things. And they were like, what is this? Why are you guys talking like this? And I was like, oh man, my Simple Ken community would have understood. So I was like, oh man, this is a drawback of like everyone. I know this sounds very privileged, but it's so interesting how I'm so lucky to have gone through all cycles of content creation. Where initially I was just like, please someone watch my video. Then a lot of people watched the video. Then I was like, okay, I need to make sure this video can be seen by everyone. And then I started Simple Ken, which was like, nope, this is just for me. And if someone likes it, great. But I'm not going to force or rewrite things or, sugarcoat things. And now this community is also getting big, which is so amazing. I'm very blessed. But at the same time, I'm just like, So let me elaborate on what I meant that people are not. Oh, by the way, I also want to clarify. I think a lot of people made fun of me because in the last episode I was saying only comics do this, only comedians do this. I realized I wasn't articulating what I was trying to say well. Also because I was not intimidated. I was very overwhelmed by having 3 of my favorite people in the episode. So I couldn't get to the point because I was so afraid of interrupting their train of thought that I didn't complete mine. Obviously, I know everyone has an inner voice, obviously. What I was trying to say was, speaking to a writer once, and the writer was telling me how when they get into a situation, they detach themselves from the situation and observe it, not just as an observer, but also, how can I use this for my content? So you kind of not only detach, but also like observe it to understand it better for the purpose of content. So what's invariably happening is that you're not experiencing that moment, is what I was trying to say. I was not like only comics have inner voice and observe. But again, that is also my fault because I was not articulating it well. But I got a lot of funny comments for that, which made me laugh. Which is also very interesting how people really dissect everything from a piece of video. But you don't realize, like, if someone recorded you talking for an hour, you would not realize this crap coming out of your mouth, or how you have not clearly communicated your point of view. So, I mean, that's one of the pitfalls of being a public content creator, is like you put stuff out and people are just like, isn't he hearing what he's saying? But in reality, like, we don't realize what's coming out of our mouth. But only when you sit down and you observe a recording. This is why people get into fights in relationships, is because we have no idea what we're saying. But guys, I just love Simple Ken so much. And it took about a year for it to kind of find its audience and for me to figure out what it was. But I'm so glad that I went through that 1 year of the lull period. And also, I'm so glad you guys send me messages. The messages I get from Simple Ken are so heartwarming that I'm like, if I ever stop doing any like comedy, and I just like, I don't know, if I retire, I never want to stop doing Simple Ken. And I'm so happy. This is my major source of joy with content right now. I'm so happy that you guys are so accepting of any experiment I do. I think there was a few trolls on the previous episode, and you guys were just so calmly like, hey, if you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. So calmly. I love this community. Very, very peaceful and chill. Also, I hope you guys are, I don't even know, man. I hope you guys are okay, you know. I have not been okay. The last month was hard for me also. A lot of close family members got COVID. And you just like, a lot of close people have passed away. And you want to blame someone, you get frustrated. And then you see the shit online. And people still justifying the bad management and the lack of resources. And then you feel so helpless. And then I've been sharing stuff on Instagram for inquiries. Just looking at the DMs, so many people who are helpless. I don't know, man. I don't know what long-lasting effects this is going to have for the privileged folk who survived COVID, but now have to deal with the loss. Yeah, so all of this is kind of depressing, but at the same time, if you want to live in denial, if you have some skills to be in denial, use that skill right now to stay sane. But again, I hope you guys are okay. I think this community we have is awesome, and I'm very lucky to be part of it. And I hope we can just, I don't know, be there for each other and share silly stuff. So yeah, let's get to the first question. Hashida says, Kenny, I'm in the middle of the video. Last week, one of my old friends, not a friend now, slammed me for being negative on social media or crying, etc. But I didn't do that all the time. I expressed those feelings only at times, and I wasn't feeling fine, of course. And now I see this video of you talking long and saying that it's very okay to be negative on social media, and mind is fucked. And I feel so great about myself at this moment, which I was not feeling lately. You have no idea, Kenny. You've helped me so much through these videos. Thank you. God bless you. Installing my Instagram again. Okay, couple of things. It's a very interesting thing that's going on right now, which is called toxic positivity. And my arm's hurting. It's the side effects of the vaccine. I'll be so happy if I get superpowers, dude. Never. When are they going to do that? Give me the superpower vaccine. Anyway, toxic positivity has got me so excited because my 3 years of therapy has just been that. And now it's become like a term, and I'm so excited. I was cursed with toxic positivity. Not with my work, huh? It just internally. Internally, man, I was so obsessed, but there are some personal reasons to why. Some childhood trauma. But it's okay to use it to cope with stuff, but after the trauma is over, you're still doing it, then there's a problem. Toxic positivity is, for the people who don't know, is being so positive about things that it's toxic. For example, talking about how COVID is bad and how you're stressed and how you're scared of dying or getting sick, or your loved ones getting sick and dying, and people saying, don't talk like that, it's bad, nothing will happen, is kind of not helping. And people are like kind of keeping it inside and just like rotting. That's toxic positivity, where you just don't want to acknowledge realistic things. It's not even negative, it's just real. People are dying of COVID. You're worried about people are dying of COVID. You're worried of yourself dying of COVID. Those are all real things. The intention is positive. That the reason I'm telling you not to talk about it, so that you don't spiral down, which is okay. But anything extreme is also bad, right? And I'm loving. I'm just loving. I never in a million years thought people would talk about toxic positivity in public. Like, it's a thing now. People have recognized it. And what time to recognize it than COVID pandemic, where you would think that people just want to talk about. I think people are trying to be so positive that they started becoming toxic in mass numbers, and now it's become a trend. And a lot of audiences are also catching influencers or certain people who are promoting toxic positivity. But that stuff I don't agree with, because people forget that all influencers or social media people or celebrities or content creators or entertainment is already broken up into genres. So if there's a movie that's only positive and it's not dark, and if there's a movie that's only dark and not positive, it's a genre. So I feel like people are being a little hard on these influencers who are trying to motivate people, is because if there's a girl or a guy on Instagram just posting about positive stuff, I think you shouldn't give them flack. But if they explicitly say that, yeah, there was this, I think, female influencer who said, stop posting about COVID. Can we not? Yeah, that is messed up. So I think you should go by case. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm just fascinated. Please, in the comments, I just want to know, or actually come to the Instagram. I just want to know what you think about toxic positivity, because I never thought in a million years. Because positivity is the rare thing in society. But now this has also become like so convoluted. It's so fascinating. So Harshita's question was, I think why it's jarring is when social media came about, everyone's first response was only positive stuff, happy stuff, something you've achieved should be posted, is worth posting. Then the more casual social media got, people started becoming more, trying to adjust the mic. People started becoming more casual on social media. Same thing happened with photographs. 2 generations before us, if they took a photo, they'll be like, huh. And then a generation before us, they were like smiling, and we are just like candid. And because the value of photographs have reduced so much, because it's so easy to take a photograph, that yeah, we don't take it as seriously. So I think even social media back then, putting up a post was a big deal. So you might as well put something positive, something substantial. But now the value of it has gone down so much that people just put up a video of them crying or had them having a bad day. So it's not good or bad. I think it's just that social media has become more casual, and that's jarring to some people. But also, I think you should just not put so many personal things online. And if your argument is that it makes you feel better, I don't know if in the long run it's good. It's my opinion, but positive and negative. I just don't share your intimate happiest moments and your intimate worst moments on social media. It's like people can really abuse that shit. And according to terms and conditions, it becomes public property. Basically, they can use your image or video for anything. Apparently, like once you post it on social media. I know I sound like an uncle, but just why? Just should like create off like do the fun thing that influencers do. Like create a fake persona of yourself, which is like this very, you plan this shit. Like today I want people to think I am a person who's obsessed with TV shows, and just like push that persona, like have fun with it instead of like being so bare. I don't know if that's good, especially because there's so many creepy people on social media. Thank you for the question, Harshita. Really cool question. Aditi Mewada says, first of all, sending tons of love from Bangalore. I'm on anxiety medication, so half of what I might say may not make sense. I read on some comment that you give away free hugs after every show of yours. Do you really do that? I don't give away free hugs. And especially with COVID, we have completely stopped meeting audience members. We actually stopped doing that because we realized that if you don't have a safe environment, It's not ideal to meet strangers. So we have completely stopped that, especially because of COVID. So I'm a 12th grade student and going through a very bad phase in my life with my anxiety going out of control because of my family issues, relationships, future worries. At some point I started getting suicidal thoughts and kept it inside for quite some times because I was worried I would seem stupid and laughed at. Today I told two of my friends about it. Never felt luckier. They've been so highly supportive and I'll never be able to repay them. On the other hand, my parents are still struggling with the whole anxiety being a problem thing, which is a bugger, and I hope they understand soon too. But all I wanted to say is that you've really helped me stay sane during this highly fucked up phase of my life. Whenever I sense highly anxious thoughts coming my way, I listen to your podcast and videos over and over again. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. What you're doing is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I have no words to express. Conveying gratitude. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Aditi. I just have one word for you. Go for therapy. I am not a professional mental health professional, so please go for therapy. And if your argument is my parents will know, I'm sure you've lied to your parents about other stuff. Lie about this also. Just, you don't have to convince your parents about mental health. Just the same way you can't convince your parents about sexual stuff or relationships or how you're feeling about things, or you are experimenting with alcohol. So you can't tell them that stuff anyway. So just assume mental health is one of those things, because I think what's priority here, Aditi, is you not having suicidal thoughts and you not harming yourself. You don't have to also change your parents' mindset on top of that. Take care of yourself first. So because of COVID, a lot of therapists are also doing WhatsApp and Zoom sessions. So you didn't have to leave your house. I'm so glad you have friends who supported you. So glad. And good job in reaching out to them. And if you're wondering, how can I afford therapy? Therapy is not that expensive. I would recommend literally saving up, stop spending on other stuff and like keep a quota for mental health for paying a therapist. And if you do enough research, you could find therapists who are kind of giving subsidized rates for, I think you seem pretty young. So I think just look for it, you'll find. And also, I wanted to bring this up about therapy is that just because you go to therapy doesn't mean it'll solve it, but that's the right direction to go in versus nothing. And therapy is exactly like gym. It's like if I said, oh, you want to get fit, you want to lose weight, go to the gym. It doesn't mean anything will happen. You have to go to gym regularly. You have to hopefully find a good trainer. You have to have the motivation to keep going to the gym. You have to have the motivation to do what the gym instructor is telling you diligently. And also when you get out of the gym, you don't eat crap. Therapy is exactly like that. So it's not some magical thing where I went for therapy, life is still shit. Therapy also takes a lot of time. Takes a couple of years. I saw results after 3 years. But nothing is there out there that solves it instantly, like everything else. You want to work out, it takes a couple of years. You want to get better at finance, it takes a couple of years. You want to learn a skill, it takes a couple of years. So just like that, therapy takes a couple of years. But is better than nothing. So 349 Alan Elias Babu. He's such a mallu, it's not even funny. Hey Kenny, by the way, there's a storm going on outside and the breeze is killer. And I was in such a good mood. I was like, even though it's like kind of gloomy and the light's less, I just want to record an episode today. But it's a beautiful weather today. Just want to update you for the audio listeners. So Alan Elias Babu says, hey Kenny, just want to tell you it's my final semester exams. And everything stressful and simple Ken has been delightful escape from everything. I'm glad, Alan. And I'm sorry you have to fucking do exams during this period. Fuck, dude. Want to remind you what an absolutely remarkable and irreplaceable, heartwarming impact you've had on me and so many of us. Okay, this is too sweet. I think I'm one of the numerous people who never comments, but the stand-up community has brought more smiles and laugh to our lives than perhaps any other art form. If you read this, just want to reassure you and your peers through you that there are thousands of us who love you guys immensely. Thank you so much, Alan. And please send comments to comics. We get a lot of shit. If we really appreciate good comments, we really do. So anyway, you chose this offbeat path because you believed in yourself, and like you have mentioned, you were financially independent quite early in life. Yes, and I was financially independent because I picked up graphic design skills and video editing skills from YouTube. I just learned how to do it. I just spoke to people and I charged $1,000 to $1,000 and eventually is charging 10 grand, 20 grand to do videos. That's how I became financially independent at 19. By financially independent, I mean, it's not like I didn't need money. Financially independent from my parents is the correct term. What if you are not reached where you aspire to be, or did you ever think it would come this far? You might know a lot of creative people who face this in their lives, trying to go down an unknown path but not realizing their goals. Hence, very curious about the first-hand experience. Artists you absolutely love and recommend. Musical, it would be nice to know your favorite actors too. Stay blessed. Man, what do I say? You are simply chumma awesome. Thank you, Alan. Anyway, I finally have an answer for this. I keep getting this question. What if, Kenny, your video never went viral? You never got to do specials on Amazon and Netflix. What would you be doing right now? And the answer is, I would be doing the same thing. And I've heard other creators say this. Like right now, when there's peak COVID and there's no work as such, I just love creating stuff like simple. Can I get so much joy? You have no idea how excited I was to release the 27th episode with Kanan, Shrija and Prashasti. I was just like, man, I had this idea in my head and I asked them and they all said yes. And we came together and I spent a lot of money on that video. I edited it for like 2 weeks and then it came out as this beautiful thing and I uploaded it and I just saw wonderful reactions to it. That whole process, I don't have to do any of that. Like, I don't make any money from Simple. Can I actually lose money? There's no reason to do it. But I just love creating. Just love creating videos. And I'm so lucky to have found out what I like doing. It's creating stuff. It could be a painting. It could be a video. It could be a reel. It could be a photograph. Just being so much joy. I'm very blessed too. So yeah, so if I hadn't made it to this stage, I would have still kept doing it. Maybe I'd have had another job to like monetarily support myself, but I would still be, dude, like right now it's so easy to make content and shoot stuff. So, and I love cameras. I love the invention of photography. It's just mind blowing. So hope that answers your question, Alan. And your second question is, do you know creative people who face this in their lives but not reaching their goal? Yes, I know so many people, but I wouldn't say they didn't reach their goals. While they were doing it, they realized that it wasn't enough to keep going on. So they stopped. And I think the people who just like doing it are still doing it, but they still have a job. So what I mean is, like, if there was someone who wanted to be a famous graphic designer, they kept doing it, but then they were not making enough money from it. So they were like, it's not worth chasing this to be financially secure just with graphic design. So they stopped doing it as a monetary source. They got another job and now just do graphic design. So that's what really happens. I think this question makes sense if their goal was to become popular or well-known or famous. I don't know, people like that. And people who I've met who are like that are very unbearable, because it doesn't matter how they get there. It's a real tutty it is. So that's the beauty of your goal is never, if your goal is to become popular, and I know there's no end to that, but if your goal is to just find something you love doing, but then it doesn't become a monetary source as well, then you can just branch it out and be like, I'll do a job and I can still do it. So if you love dancing, I know a friend of mine, she's a Bharatanatyam dancer. She still dances every day. She has a normal job. So, but I think few of us are very lucky to get paid doing it. But that also has its cons, man. So, grass is greener on the other side. Jerin V. John. Again, I think only South Indians are asking me questions. I hope everything's going well with you during this pandemic. I want to get your outlook on how you would tackle a situation where you're not getting any motivation to get a work done with a deadline, especially when you can't really step out. Thanks to the pandemic for a break to refresh yourself and get back. I feel watching TV series kind of makes you feel a bit more lazy. Would you like to hear your thoughts on this? Really love your work and this long recording for you, sharing your thoughts. Okay, another motivation question. It's another motivation question. And I keep this in every podcast. and every show, not podcast, long recording, is that if motivation is easy, everyone would be motivated. Motivation is supposed to be hard. So if you're not motivated, that means everything's normal. Being motivated is really, really hard. It takes a lot of work and mental strength to finish doing what you're doing. So I'll tell you what helps me. Get your shit done in the morning, dude. Or get it done before 6 or 7. Because your brain has energy, just like any other part of your body. It's like a fuel. And I feel like by the time, not I feel I've read books about it, but by the time you're kind of tired in the evening, it's very hard. It takes twice as much motivation to do something. You might be wired differently. Maybe you're very productive at night. Find out your peak productive period through trial and error and try, by God's will, try to finish it by then. Jareen V. John. Everyone's going through a pandemic, by the way. So, Jareen, other people are getting work done. So, they have found some way to do it. So, life never gets easier, bro. It's like it's like in the gym, right? When you start lifting weights, you start with, like, for example, 20 kgs. After you master 20 kgs, the point is that you start doing 30 kgs. You just don't do 20 kgs for the rest of your life. So if the pandemic has made it harder, bro, get through it, me. Is this toxic positivity? But I'm just telling you, Jaren, motivation is supposed to be hard. So that's what I do. I just try to get it done in the morning. Otherwise, by 6 o'clock, if I'm not done, I just give up. I'm like, it's for tomorrow. And this is why Simple Ken doesn't come out regularly. Pallavi Kanchi Raju says, Kenny, hope you're doing well. I have 2 questions actually. First one is in episode 26, you were talking about following your dreams but have a degree so that it supports you in case a dream doesn't work out. So what if someone hates to do a 9-to-5 job and also doesn't know what to do with their career in spite of having a good degree and a great job, but still not happy with it? The second one is, do we have to follow our heart or follow our parents? Because parents are the only one who take care of us. What if we want to do something they don't like? Pallavi. I don't know. If you're not happy with a great degree and a great job and you don't know what you want to do with your life, nobody does. It's kind of interesting how in the second beat you asked about parents and how you should not go against them. Pallavi, I don't know you, but from whatever I can assume is, I think you've been kind of, not programmed, what's the word, dude? You've been conditioned to always do what your parents have told you. When that happens, you kind of forget what you want. So the only way to figure out what makes you happy is by doing everything. So I was very lucky and privileged and smart. At a young age, I tried a lot of things. I tried graphic design, I tried music, I tried filmmaking, I tried theater, I tried sculpture, I tried management stuff, I did subtitling. I did a lot of things and I never said no to a lot of things when I was younger. And I stumbled upon creating video. And I freaking love it. I stumbled upon stand-up, freaking love it. So if you haven't found what makes you happy, then keep doing random shit. Go for some dance class. Just do some random shit, Pallavi. Also, this parents thing, no. If it makes you happy to keep your parents happy, just keep your parents happy. If you're sad by keeping your parents happy, then find a middle ground. And most of the time, you'll realize that your parents actually don't give a shit. They'll be upset for a couple of days and then life goes on. Pallavi, what happens is that you are adequately happy. Okay? Man, I have so many great questions. So, Diksha5005 says, hey, can you have some questions? So I watched a Netflix special where he talked about the ostrich and his dad, Appa, and the fact that people put so much pressure on the kids that the kids may feel that they're not good enough. So what is, according to you, the right way for parents to motivate, approach their kids? Also, since you have many friends who are engineers and they decided to follow their dreams, became comedians, what do you have to say about the expectation of their parents? Love your content. Keep up the good work. Diksha is asking the real questions, man. She just went for it. She's like, oh, are you criticizing parents? What's the goddamn solution? Okay, I don't have kids. So when I'm 38 and 40 or something and I have kids, I will maybe cringe at what of the all the advice I've given on how to raise kids. Okay, I don't have kids. I have read and noticed that there's a quote, right, that 80% of the contribution to your children is done before they're born, which means that you've just given them your genes, right, and they've inherited your personality and certain traits. So if you are very hardworking and very physically active and very intelligent, have high IQ, your child will inherit some of that, and they just will do that without you telling them. And if you're a lazy piece of shit who's annoying and stubborn, they'll inherit that shit. There's nothing you can do about it. And apparently, most of children's influence is from their peer group and not from the parents. One example is that the children take up the accent of their friends and not the parents. Like you see Indian kids who are raised in America, they don't sound like their parents, sound like American kids. Um, so peer influence is there, genetic stuff is already given to them. So I feel there's not much you can do other than just making sure they're not spoiled. Make sure they don't eat crap and they have a good schedule, because children don't have a sense of schedule, and they're safe and they clean up, and that's all. I don't know, man. When I have kids, I'll know. But I feel that's what you should do. Just make sure they're not spoiled. If they are really bad at studying, that's okay. I mean, really bad at getting marks or bad in school, okay. But if they're so spoiled that they don't even want to study or do homework, that's not cool. If they are not like doing exactly what I'm telling them to do, but they're at least not rude or impolite or whatever, just not spoiled. No spoiled kids. I think this is not good for the child. That's my approach. A lot of my friends are not engineers who became comedians. Okay, I know what is this cliche, but anyway, expectations from parents. Again, dude, I was a dumbass in 10th, 8th, 9th. Even I was like completely agreeing with my parents that I'm a dumbass. I was a dumbass. I found my voice when I was 19, 20. That's how long it took for me. And I think I'm doing pretty fucking great for my standards. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with whatever life has given me, and I'm very glad and blessed. And I'm very grateful. But if you had asked me in 8th or 9th, I would have been like, I'm gonna be homeless. But so yeah, dude. So I hope I remember this when I have kids. But then what if they're 19, 20 and they are a piece of shit and dumb? What can you do, guys? I guess just provide them with education, be supportive, don't neglect them, and make sure they're not spoiled. Let's see. Easier said than done. Thank you for the question, Diksha. Madhushri underscore Abi says, hey Kenny, social media has become a huge deal among almost every age group right now. And thousands of teenagers like me are trying to keep up with it. No matter what kind of content one is creating, there's always this confusion of whether you should follow a trend, start your own trend. If someone wants to get famous, then the easiest thing to do is keeping up with trends. But where's the originality? I kind of hate the fact that doing what everyone else does gets you clout. But some people with good original content are suffering. What are your thoughts on this, and why do you think people like to watch repetitive content like Instagram Reels or TikTok? Thank you. Hope your day is amazing as you. Madhushri, the whole basis of this is trying to be famous on social media, which is anyway a tutty endeavor. Follow a trend, start your own trend, and originality is all like just random. These are just random concepts. You can't be original. You can just be yourself. You luckily have a unique voice because there's no one else like you, just by logic. No one has the set of traits and circumstances and parents and skills as you have, right? You're just unique, inherently unique. I'm not trying to be some rainbow preachy. You're just inherently unique by the basis of who you are, right? There's only one Kenny Sebastian who was primarily raised in Bangalore and into stand up in India, whose parents are Malayalis. It's just this one guy like that. All I have to do is just be myself, and that itself automatically becomes original. Nothing else, okay? Nothing wrong with people watching stuff. If a lot of people watch something, doesn't mean it's bad. We also have to give the benefit of the doubt to an adult. So if people want to watch TikTok and reels, let them watch. And if you approach social media as work, which I do, you have to adapt. If people are watching more reels, make reels. But then make what you want to make. I don't want to make reels of me dancing. And I don't do it. I want to make reels of stuff I like. I make that stuff. So no one's forcing anyone to do anything. And if this clout and all is all nonsense shit, dude. For example, Simple Ken. I genuinely was just happy with a small clout. And it's growing, right? And that's the perfect situation. And I'm so blessed that it happens. It's happening to me that I just wanted to make something that I really want to make. And I try to make sure that the quality is good. That, if I watched it, I won't be like, this is some tutty production. I made sure that. I made sure that there's something useful from watching Simple Ken. And then people who watch it. Still, I get complaints about the intro song being long, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it's a litmus test. If you can't bear 20 seconds, 30 seconds of some song, this content is not for you. So yeah. And this whole world, Madhushri, it's a very bizarre world. Instagram and TikTok and clout and trend. None of these guys who follow trends or do stuff last, right? Because again, if your goal is to be famous and the people who are doing stuff they love are suffering, they're not suffering. They're very happy that they're creating content they want and people are watching it. Are they upset? Yeah, definitely upset, but they're not suffering. So, and also anyone who's on social media is automatically pretty privileged because that means they have the luxury of having the time to create content and not take care of their family monetarily and emotionally and physically. So anyway, they're privileged. So it's okay, dude. I am HGP says this episode was great. It was quite relatable, but you kept saying this doesn't happen to normal people. I'm sorry. That comes across as pretty weird. Okay, I have last few questions and then we wrap up this episode. Again, feels great to just talk to you directly. Blah8105 says, hope you're taking this question. Hope to long recording with you. Keep up the good work. Very fulfilling to be relatable to so many people online. Feels less lonely or at least not so scary that I'm the only one having this problem. Again, wasn't trying to be relatable. It's happened to be. So glad. When you started your journey, wasn't it overwhelming to you to choose arts college after science stream? Yes, it was. Because there's so much pressure to continue and be mediocre and common, basically to play safe. I don't think that's why. Just when you don't choose arts college after science, it doesn't mean you're mediocre and common. It's scary because it's more uncertain. It's not like if you do engineering, you'll get a job. Like it's very hard to get jobs. So there's uncertainty and risk everywhere. So no one's okay. Anyway. Also, when you're afraid to make a fool of yourself on social media platform, every time I put any content up, I have that fear. It's very scary. It's very nerve-wracking. And most people can't do it because they're sensible. There's a lot of emotional abuse you go through when you put yourself out there and people comment on how you look, how you sound, how stupid or dumb you are, how you're boring. It's a lot of emotional weird stuff. But gotta go through it, man. You can't get people to follow you and pay you money to watch you perform if you can't take that shit. And does that mean they're allowed to be mean to you? No. But will it leak through? Yes, it will. A lot of judgment out there. I don't like even posting pictures on social media because I know that I'm looking average now, but with time I'll get better and then I will post. I'm sure you look fine. But then I end up not putting myself out there because there will be always scope for improvement. Or am I just procrastinating and failing in the name of attaining perfection? I think you already answered your question yourself. You can't attain perfection. How to know one is ready or is ready enough to start something new, especially on social media, where mistakes will never be forgotten? Why does everyone want to do social media stuff, dude? I don't understand. The answer is there's never a right time. The time is now. The time is now. It's like investing in the stock market. You can't time the market, yo. Just start investing, bro. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Just start. Just start off. Because anyway, it won't work. the chances of things working on social media is so low. Like, I feel like this whole over positivity and confidence in yourself, like, what if I put it and it blows up, bro? It's not gonna happen. Took me 7, 8 years. And I see people who get viral pretty fast in like 6 months, but then they don't last as well. And they do. Sometimes they last also. So I'm just like, what the hell, dude? So it's just, don't have so much confidence also that if I put it, no, put it, make it right, perfect, it'll just blow up. Then what? It's like the first 70% of shit you put is going to be crap. Just get over that phase anyway. So just start now. Aradhya Shreya 11 says, Simplekin is hella amazing. Your talk has exposed a serene and calm side of me. As a teen, I never thought I had one. You're too hard on yourself. You remind me of an elder brother I never had and love you. Thank you so much. So here's my question. You insult us, mock us, and even sometimes ask that why are we at your show? Despite all this, I patiently wait like a dumbass for the next episode. What kind of reverse psychology are you experimenting? Do I mock you guys? And I do ask, why the hell are you listening to it? Because it's my insecurity, okay? But I'm sorry if it... I'm not mocking you guys. I'm sorry, man. Didn't mean to mock you. But... and I don't insult, come on. Do I insult? If I do, I'm sorry. It's not reverse psychology, to be very honest, because part of me obviously wants a lot of people to listen to Simplekin and watch the video. Like I told you, like last episode, a lot of people saw it. I got very excited, but then I started seeing comments from like strangers, like who are not part of the Simplekin community, and I didn't like it. I was like, oh no, this my nice small community, because they were not getting the context of a lot of jokes and they were not understanding the format of the show, and I was just like, so is I genuinely, part of me also doesn't want too many people to watch. But it's not reverse psychology. I'm being very honest. One place I get to be honest. Guys, the last question of this episode. Moments come. Akiza says, hey Kenny, super insightful episode with Subramaniam. I love that episode. I'm curious to know how you knew it was the right time to quit a stable lifestyle and take risk on your passion. Granted, you possess a tangible skill, but the dream is to fall back on that tangible skill only if all else fails. Is there a sign or purely a gut feeling that I need to make should happen? Akiza, very simple sign, bro. It's when your skill makes as much as money as your full-time job. That's it. If you want to join a band and you start getting gigs while you have a job, and the gig is paying you as much as your salary, or at least 70%, and you're okay with that, that's when you go for it. That's what I did with stand-up. A year into being signed with OML as an artist, I quit my corporate video job. I used to be a freelance corporate video guy, to make corporate videos for companies. After a year after being signed with OML, this is 4 years after doing stand-up. Only when I was making equal amount of money, and I was making some good money from those corporate videos. So there's no sign. It's not some amazing evangelic, beautiful angels coming down from heaven, or Farhan Akhtar be like, "Tu kabhi successful nahi hoga." It's just the moment is when you are making the same amount of money, or at least 70%. It kind of solves all these 30 doubts about following what makes you happy. Hey, I want to be a photographer, but I don't know. Dude, are you making enough money from photography with your full-time job? Then I don't have time to follow my passion. If you somehow found time to do a full-time job and do photography, you already found the answer, right? So a lot of these things solve each other when you go with this approach that till my skill that makes me very happy, makes me the same amount of money as my job, I won't do it. And also I won't recommend taking what you love and making that your monetary source. I used to love painting. When I got into my painting college, I started hating painting because I was forced to do it. Anything you're forced to do kind of it ruins it. So there are moments where also when I'm doing stand-up and I really don't enjoy myself, I'm like, what am I doing, man? Or I do certain things, I'm like, I can't get everything in life. So It's not all rosy. But thank you, Akiza, for that question. Thank all of you for tuning in to Simple Ken episode 28. Lovely weather. This nice breeze coming in. I'm enjoying it. This podcast or this show is available on all platforms. So if you're too busy to look at the video, we can just listen to my sweet, sultry voice. And it's on all podcast platforms, Google Podcasts. It's on Ghana. It's on Apple Podcasts, just everywhere, guys. And if you have any questions, also amazing job on the questions. Please leave them in the Simple Ken podcast Instagram page. I got most of them from there. Excellent questions. I love the dialogue we have. I really needed this. Thank you for joining in. And please take care of yourself. Have a routine. Do something. Just hold on. If you need somebody to talk to the Simple Ken folks on the Instagram page. And I know if you can give me a solution to how to build why am I burping so much? If you can give me a solution how to build the community together, that'll be great. Reddit and Discord, I don't know if there's a better way. Tata bye bye. Tata bye bye.